stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought, a touchdown mind. Out of the box every time. No limits, no chains, no walls to climb. We're rewriting the rules in real time. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. No limits, no chains, no walls to climb. We're rewriting the rules in real time. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. Every shot's a story, every cheer's a spark. Under the lights we make our mark. Beyond the scoreboard, beyond the lines. Out of the box, redefining the grind. The grind. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way.
Good morning, New York Mets Nation, and welcome to the Bat Cave. I'm your host, the Bat Fry, Kenny Fry. It's been a while since I said that. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm back. All right. How exciting. I'm incredibly nervous. It's been a while since I did a podcast, and quite a few months. Several reasons for that. I don't know. I just I've been having a hard time staying awake. I work night shift. For those that don't know, new to the show, new to me. I've done many shows, the Bat Cave, many shows with the Bat Cave, many shows, Silver and Black Lair, Raiders Edition, Kings Edition. Started off with the Vegas sports scene with Rob Hefner, the Atomic Drop podcast talking WWE wrestling, and just, amongst other things. And so I've done many shows, and just recently, I don't know what it is, the past, 6, 7, 8 months, I've been really struggling with being overly tired after work. And again, I don't know what it is. It's something I never had to deal with before. And maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. But anyway, I just couldn't do it. And so I figured I'd take a break. And also the content I was putting out before, I felt like was crap. I felt like I wasn't doing a great job. Not saying I was doing a great job before, but I felt like I was putting out better content before. And I feel like I was shitting the bed, recently. And I think a lot of that has to do with just not being able to put in the time and effort that I think is needed to create a decent show. And, again, this is all my opinion type stuff. I'm not an analytical wizard. I'm not a math magician, none of that stuff. I basically go off the eye test to hear, I listen to a lot of games on the radio as well. Howie Rose's sweet, sweet voice, his music to my eardrums, and stuff like that. So I don't go off analytics too much. I do like your simple stats, your average RBI, slug, on base percentage, stuff like that, OPS. I don't get too in depth with all that other stuff. So this is a revamped Out of the Box Sports Entertainment, kind of like a rebrand almost. We're in conjunction now. We're working with Cole County Entertainment. So that's really exciting. Check those guys out. Follow them wherever. Give them a look up. Look them up on all social medias and whatnot. I'm going to scroll up there at the bottom. Let's see here. I got to find a ticker, the proper ticker for it. There it is. So yeah, so make sure you follow both us, Out of the Box Sports Entertainment, on all social media platforms. OOT Box SE on X, YouTube, Out of the Box Sports, uh, OOT Box Sports. Yeah. And YouTube or Facebook, Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. You can look at us, looks up there, and all of our social media stuff is on there as well. And of course, I will share it out before the show is over. Today's show is brought to you by our good friend, your good friend, Big Al. You reach Big Al, attorney Jason Fine. 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. Jason Fine specializes in motor vehicle accidents, slip and falls, workman's comp, and personal injury claims. He has 3 office locations conveniently located throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. His office in New Jersey is located in Cherry Hill on 3 Greensward Lane. The phone number there is 856-209-5258. And he has 2 offices in Pennsylvania, one on the east side and one on the west side. The one on the west side is located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The phone number there is 412-365-8151. And in the cheesesteak capital of the world, Philadelphia, 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. The phone number there is being currently covered up by my banner, so I'm going to pull that ticker down. 267-888-2980. That's Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. You think I would know that by heart? I've said it so many different times. All right, so let's kick this show off, the shindig here. Mets complete the sweep of the Phillies. A huge series, absolutely huge series. Again, a ton of work to do. I'm not overly confident that the Mets can catch the Phillies. It's just 4 games. They're 4 games back now after this sweep with a whole month of play yet. But they have some really tough series coming up. A series with the Reds coming up, which is a team that's chasing them in the wild card right now. The Mets are 4.5 up on the Reds. A series with the Tigers, a series with the Cubs, a 4-game set with the Phillies, which is going to be huge. But they're within striking distance. And Mets fans, we all know that no lead is safe. You know, we've shit the bed many a times where we've had leads going into the last month of the season, and we squandered those leads away. We know what it looks like. And we've been laughed at. We've been mocked by Philly fans. Hopefully that ends this year. Hopefully we can laugh and mock at them, and they can join us in our misery and pain of blowing big leads. We got a couple comments here. Let's check them out. It's been a while since I did comments. So we got the Bohm Mike. There we go. I like that. Hey, Kenny, welcome back. Thank you, the Bohm Mike. The Mets kicked the Phillies backside. The hunt is on. Yes. Again, a lot of work to do yet. A lot of work. And feeling good. Feeling really good where we're at. And I'll get into that here in a minute. Mets got help. The stud prospect pitchers are here. Yes. Jonah Tong starting Friday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. He's got a lot of comparisons to Tim Lincecum. I don't know about that. Let's see the guy here pitch a little bit. I know everything you see highlight wise of Jonah Tong pitching is outstanding. I was super jacked. I got tickets to the Reading Phillies, the Reading Fighting Phils, which is, a half hour down the road for me. And I love going to that stadium. I really do. As much as I hate the Phillies, I love the Reading Fighting Phils. I love the atmosphere. The stadium, they recently remodeled it. It's beautiful. And I've always liked that stadium. And I always said to my wife, if I ever get a day shift job, I am going to get season tickets to boo the Reading Fighting Phils, but I will get season tickets. I just love going to that place. But anyway, I try to get there once or twice a year to see the Binghamton Rumble Ponies face the Fighting Phils. And I was kind of trying to figure out the pitching rotation for the Rumble Ponies, and they had it scheduled for Jonah Tong to pitch. So I go, oh, fantastic. So I went there, and Jonah Tong did not pitch. So it was what it was. So it was a bummer. We got to see Jet Williams play and a couple other guys. I think it was Drew Gilbert. I think was playing as well. And the Rumble Ponies put a beat down on the old Fighting Phils. But I really do. I really enjoy that place. Nolan McLean last night was phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. You can't say a bad word about what he's done so far since he's been up with the Mets. 3 starts. First Mets pitcher to go 3-0 in his first 3 outings. To start his career, period. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And they talked about it last night. Again, I'm not big into spin rate. That's something that's really new. To be 100% honest, I don't understand spin rate. I understand what it is, but how the hell they calculate that stuff is, it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So I don't get too much into that because frankly, I don't understand it. How they get uh, the calculations of it, and and two, it's just how do some pitchers get more spin than other pitchers? It seems like it'd be a basic function as a pitcher. Then if you knew you needed more spin to get your balls to break better, or to be more unhittable or whatever. You think every pitcher would do that, and it just seems like it'd be a basic function as a pitcher then. But I guess it's something, has to be something with the talent. Not that's something with the God given talent and not hard work. I don't know. I have no idea how the spin rate works. As a softball guy, my daughter playing softball. I don't want to brag her up too much and give her a fat head. It already is pretty big. She had herself a hell of a freshman season for high school. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that. Nobody wants to hear it. If you do, go to my Facebook page. I talk about it enough. But anyway, but they kept talking about his spin rate. I was watching the Mets actually on the Philadelphia station, listening to John Kruk, who actually, believe it or not, I was I'm like, oh, I got to listen to freaking Kruk for 3 days in a row here while I'm watching on TV. And Kruk wasn't bad. I enjoyed John Kruk. And so yeah, so there was that. But they were talking about how great McLean's spin rate was, and his stuff was straight up filthy. All of his breaking pitches, the fastballs breaking back over the plate, awesome, fantastic. And our boy here, Big Al Hedeman, was at the game last night. I seen you on the Facebook there, Big Al. What a game to go to, man! What a game to go to. Nolan effing McLean lit it up. It was awesome to see. And it gives you a lot of hope for as down as you have to figure all Mets fans. For all Mets fans that have been super down on the starting pitching this year, the rotation, to see McLean, what he's done so far over these first 3 starts of his career, just gives you so much hope, and it's so exciting to see. And then we see Jonah Tong starting Friday. It just makes you even more excited to see what happens with him. He's supposed to be even better than Nolan McLean from what you hear from all the old farm system experts and stuff like that. They're saying that Jonah Tong is the top of the top there in Mets prospect pitching. Then you also have Brandon Sproat. He did get knocked around a bit the other day. I think it was in maybe a bullpen session. They're trying to possibly look at bringing Sproat up for bullpen. I've been hearing on other podcasts, other shows. I'm not sure about that. We have Tyler McGill, possibly coming back pretty soon. He's been doing very well in AAA in a bunch of rehab starts. Does he enter the rotation? And it brings the question, Al and the Bone Mike, what do we do with the rotation? What happens with the rotation? Does Senga, is he not a part of the rotation? I can't see them moving Senga to the bullpen. So what happens with Senga? Does he just get left off of the postseason roster? Sean Manaea. I could see Sean Manaea in the bullpen. I really could. That wouldn't surprise me much at all. But is that the way they go? And it's something I put out a short video the other day about. I'm pretty sure I talked about this. I think I brought it up about Sean Manaea's foreign bodies in his elbow. Nobody's building a wall around those. Nobody's I'm not going to say what I wanted to say there. But anyway, foreign bodies in the man's elbow. Doesn't sound good, right? I just don't understand why he continues to pitch, and he's not pitching great. So why not just set him down? It's something that they've been there for a while. Since before he got off the injured list. If that was something they took care of right away, if they opened him up and cleaned his elbow up, would he have been back by now? Would that have been a season-ending thing? I'm not really sure, but I just feel like that's something they should have cleaned up right away. Just shut him down. It is what it is, and go from there, because there was plenty of time before the trade deadline. So we could have went out and just got another arm just a short-term guy, a rental if you were, and go from there. But we brought him back, and he's been super inconsistent. Now I thought he pitched all right against the Phils the other day. Was a 4 2/3. Ran into a little bit of trouble there in the fifth inning, like he's been, in his last few starts. Uh, but before that, I thought he was pitching well. The fastball had some okay zip on it. It wasn't the normal fastball zip that we've been seeing, but his sweeper or whatever the hell you want to call it was phenomenal. He was striking guys out. He had 8 strikeouts in that game, I believe, and he looked good, for the most part. Then he ran into trouble. So Senga, first game of the series, again, just a struggle. And I beg and plead. I plead. I was talking to a Mets fan at work. I said, why don't they just tell Senga, tell his translator to whisper into Sanga's ear, throw freaking strikes, throw strikes. I mean, whenever I watch Senga pitch, I'm just throw strikes, just throw strikes. God bless it, man. And it's been a lot of that for the Mets rotation. It seems like a lot of these guys, the reason they're out early is because they're nibbling. They're nibbling. Pitch to contact. Pitch to contact. I'm not saying throw meatballs up there, but let your defense do the work. We do have a pretty decent defense. It was shaky in the beginning of the year. I felt like Lindor, a lot of fumbles, and stuff like that, and whatnot. But I feel like we have a decent enough defense where you pitch to contact and let it do it. We have a better defense than what the Phillies have. I can say that with the utmost confidence. I got a couple more comments here. Alan says it's been impressive to see what McLean has done so far. Looking forward to Tong's debut. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Al, I really wish I had tickets. I've never driven to Citi Field. Al, I talked about this before. I think one of the last shows before I took my little hiatus. I mentioned to you, like, oh, we should get together and go for a game. I've never driven up there. I get so like nervous. I've driven to Philly a bunch of times. I don't know how different it is. But I just I get super nervous even thinking about it. And I'm not a nervous kind of cat, you know what I mean? But I was nervous before this show started. I'm kind of cool now. I'm calm, but just driving to New York gives me the meat sweats or something. I don't know. But that'd be a game I'd like to go see as well. Against the Marlins up there in Queens. The Bone Mike says, Kenny, what should the Bone Mike? That still gets me. What should the Mets do to fix Ryan Helsley? I have no idea. I don't even know. He throws hard, breaking stuff. Not great. And I think it was Kruk, to be honest. Or was it Kruk or was it Howie Rose? I'm trying to remember where I was when that was going down. Helsley giving up the home run to Harrison Bader. But anyway, they said that his breaking stuff was so far off that all they had to do was just sit and time out the fastball, and that's exactly what Harrison Bader did. He took the breaking stuff, sat on that fastball, timed the fastball out, and put it into the bleachers. I mean, I don't know where you go with the guy. I don't know what to do because it's not like we just went out and got a bum. He was one of the top closers in the league. Is it an eighth inning thing? Is it like one of those guys that it's in their head that they have to close and that's all he can do? Or I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And I wouldn't want the Mets to have the guy close because you couldn't trust him first off. Even if it's for like 1 or 2 games where, Edwin Diaz is unavailable. Okay, we got Helsley. Let's throw him in a close. You can't do it now. He's just been so bad. It's been ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't know. It's be honest with you. I tell him to go out there and just throw fastballs. Just stick to it, throw fastballs, move the fastball around, work it. No meatballs, and just go from there. Let the breaking stuff lay. Throw cutters, throw sinkers, throw 185 mile an hour, whatever you got to do. He's broken right now. And then that's something that happens in the Bone Mike. I'm sure you've seen plenty of my shows before, the old shows, when I would talk about the tough spot with bullpen is you'll get guys that'll have a season or two where they're fantastic bullpen arms, and then you pick them up, and then the next season or two they're terrible in the bullpen. But then the next season or two after that they're really good. It's just like it's hard to find a bullpen guy that's consistent year in and year out. They are out there, they are, but they're very few and far in between. You'll find a guy that'll be a shutdown guy for a season or two, and then that's it for his career. And that's tough. That's the hardest part about uh, setting your bullpen up. And yeah, I don't know. He went from Saint. I think he was in St. Louis, where we got him from, I believe, and maybe it's the St. Louis to New York thing. It's a whole different animal. I mean, yeah, St. Louis is a decent sized city, but it's not New York size. Media markets are different. Different spots and standings. He went from being outside of the playoffs to into the dead heat here. So is that part of it? I'm not really sure. I know I wouldn't put him in any high leverage situations. I know that. Alan says the last 20 miles of the drive is the worst. It takes a while. And you know what? So I was co-piloting a couple times for my one buddy. Many years ago, we went to Shea a couple times, and it did seem like the last so many miles were the roughest. Actually, when we got uh, through the tunnel, I don't know what tunnel it is. The hell do I know? I don't remember which one it was. But after that, it was really anxiety ridden. And this is when we had MapQuest. We had papers, a MapQuest. We didn't have the whole GPS guy going on. The Bone Mike. I was thinking that you're my buddy Yuki Matsui, but for some reason I felt like you went by a different name the last time you were on here. I don't know. Was it Yuki Matsui or was it something else? Because you had like four different names. The year where where the Mets were trying to get Yuki Matsui, they were trying to get Yamamoto, and I feel like there was somebody else. But yeah, as soon as I seen the Bone Mike Yuki, I was thinking you. But I'm saying, what was what name did he go by last? I'm like, it was a Japanese name. It was one of those Japanese players, but I couldn't think of which one it was. Welcome back, Yuki. Helsley needs to get his confidence back. He definitely needs to get, and absolutely, Alan. That is a lot of time with the bullpen guys. It's all about confidence. It really is, because he does have the stuff. He has the speed, he has the velocity, and the breaking stuff. It looks good sometimes, and sometimes it looks really awful. So I don't know if that's part of it or what. So, but I mean, confidence could go a long way. I mean, I feel like that's what helped Diaz out last year. He struggled at certain portions where they moved him away from being a closer. I think it was only like one or two games. But yeah, I feel like as soon as Diaz was able to shut a couple games down last season, he kind of regained some of his confidence and was able to work back through it. So, I mean, he's been. I feel like Diaz has been really, really good this year. Al says, good to see Vientos back on track. Yes, absolutely. Well, not only Vientos, but it's such a bummer with Alvarez getting hurt. I feel like the baby Mets from last couple seasons, what we dubbed the baby Mets, Vientos, Beatty, and Alvarez. I felt like Beatty, Vientos, and Alvarez were really starting to click, especially since Alvarez was called back up. But I felt like Beatty was taking a lot of good at bats, whereas early in the season, he looked lost. And a lot of people were calling for him to be sent down and whatnot, to be traded even. And but if I feel like as the season's gone on, he's become a better professional hitter and taking better at bats. Now, Mark Vientos, the struggles this year, was it the whole Beatty being there, then Mauricio being there, Vientos, injuries and stuff like that. Was that part of it? I don't know, but now it seems like he's clicking. He looks like the swaggy V that we all know and love now. And yeah, I felt like the baby Mets were finally starting to click, and it's just a bummer that Alvarez got hurt. Hopefully he is back. I heard, rumors that he might be done for the season, but then he was taking batting practice the other day. So who knows? Yeah, he's a young dude, early 20s. They tend to heal pretty fast. And so hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. Even though Luis Torrens has done a decent job, but he gets banged up back there. You see him, every game shaking his hand or whatever because of a foul ball off the thumb or something. And he's getting knocked around. And Hayden Sanger, he's serviceable as a catcher. He's not bad as a catcher. Offensively, not very good. He did have a terrific bunt. Maybe a little bit of luck, but bunts I think are basically a 50-50, 50% luck and 50% talent. So especially at the major league level. when you're bunting. It seems like it's a lot more luck than anything. Uh, but yeah, it's definitely great to see Vientos back, and hopefully it's not just against the Phillies. Hopefully he can carry this into Miami and so on and so on. Uh, the bone mic, the bone mic. It's killing me. When will when will Juan Soto have his first Mets moment? Um, I don't know. Hopefully coming up here in September in that 4 game set against the Phillies, where he kind of really, it'd be nice to see him really establish himself. You've heard so many negative things about Juan Soto this year, first season as a Met, that he's, I don't want to say standoffish, that he's not as boisterous, or his cheery disposition that he had with the Yankees isn't there with the Mets, and he's not a very good clubhouse guy, or what have you. I don't know about any of that. I don't know. I do know that when you watch him play, it doesn't look he doesn't look enthused to be there. But what the hell do I know? Maybe he's just being professional. I don't know. I didn't watch the Yankees last year when he was there. I did see him play with some clips and some highlights and stuff like that. And of course, when you see clips and highlights, usually it's he's doing something good. So yeah, there's going to be smiles and and all that good stuff. So, but I really do. He's going to have his signature Met moment. I'm hoping in that 4 game set there at Citizens Bank. If not there, then playoff time. He's going to have to come up big. Play every time he's up. I expect something big out of the guy. I watch and I'm not going to say I'm disappointed. He does take some great at bats. I feel like he put a lot of pressure on himself early and midway through the season, especially when the Mets were struggling. He got off to a slow start, then he heated up. Then he was, everybody wasn't hitting there in the middle of the season, June, July, and so I feel like he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. It's kind of eased. It's kind of relaxed a little bit. It seems like, where he is getting a lot better at bats. More walks. If, of course, he leads the National League. I think it might be the whole major leagues. I'm not really sure in walks, and that's going to be a year in and year out thing for him. And the power's been there. 30 plus home runs. He's the only Met so far with 30 home runs. And Pete's right there on his tail. And I don't know. Some people, I've heard some Mets fans talk about being concerned about Pete's power. Him being under 30 home runs. And the way I look at it, he's not up there trying to kill the ball. He's up there trying to go with the pitch. That outside pitch, drive it to right field, right center, that kind of stuff, where he's not looking for launch angles and looking just to crush the ball out of the ballpark, where he's hitting 220, 225. Right now he's hitting 265, 269, somewhere around there, which is good for Pete. That's where Pete should be. He should be around 260, 265, 270. That's where he should be in and year out. He should be a 30 plus home run, 100 plus RBI guy. And I think he's right on track where he should be for the rest of his career anyway. But Juan Soto, he's going to be key. If the Mets want to do anything, if they want to make any kind of noise the rest of this season, through September, make a run in the playoffs, Juan Soto is going to be a big part of that. The Mets offense is going to be a big part of that. Mostly because you don't know what you're going to get out of the pitching staff, whether it be the starters or the relievers, the bullpen. So the Mets offense has to be a huge part of that, a huge catalyst. They're going to have to carry the team. Even when they don't have to, they still have to. So and it's also something I talk with my daughter about. I don't even know if she wanted to hear it or not. She's a Phillies fan, but I was talking to her about the Mets offense and their pitching. I said the Mets offense has been hitting well as of late. I think since the Brewers series, the Mets offense has been doing a decent job. They've had a couple stinkers here and there, but you can't score 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 runs every single game. You're going to have those games where you're only scoring 2 or 3 runs. That's where you need your starting pitching to go deep. That's when you need your bullpen to come in and step up and shut people down and win those games 3-2, 2-1, 2-0, 3-0, 4-1, what have you. And I don't have the confidence that the Mets can win those games right now. Yesterday was a perfect example of what the Mets need to do. 6-0. They need a starter to go deep in the game, pitch, throw strikes. That's what Nolan McLean was doing. No walks, 6 strikeouts. the dude was throwing strikes. Only he faced a minimum through like was it I think the first 5 or 6 innings, whatever it was. Give up only that one hit in the first inning, and I swear, Beatty, if he just even Crucker said it. John Kruk again, credit to John Kruk. What if Beatty just takes that one in the chest? He easily throws who was it, Bohm? They easily throws Alec Bohm out. I'm not sure what inning it was, if it was the first or second inning or whatever it was. But instead he's trying to do a sliding catch and it bounces over his head. I didn't get it either. To be honest with you, I'm like why did it look like he was ducking out of the way? But again, Beatty's not a natural second baseman either. That's one of those deals where, if Jeff McNeil's there, is that a different play? Does McNeil make that play, or maybe he doesn't? I don't know. Another thing I wanted to bring up, Jose Siri. There's been a lot of talk of Jose Siri possibly getting close to a return, and what the Mets do there. Me personally, I don't want Jose Siri back. I say just leave him. If he comes back this season, if he's healthy, leave him. Send him to keep him on AAA, keep him off the postseason roster or whatever. I think the Mets are fine with what they have there in center field. Cedric Mullins and Tyrone Taylor. You bring Jose Siri. What does he add? All right, we got speed with those two guys, with Mullins and Taylor. Okay, Siri, not a great hitter. Doesn't add a whole lot of to the batting average. Well, okay, neither does Cedric Mullins and Tyrone Taylor. So it's like, what are you really gaining out of bringing Cedric Mullins or bringing Jose Siri back? You're just adding another person to a already crowded offensive roster. So maybe look at somebody else for a different position, or to be honest, maybe a different pitcher, another bullpen arm instead of him, or even carry 3 catchers. If you can, if Alvarez does come back, go with Alvarez, Torrens, and I guess Sanger, just in case there's an injury, because it just seems like the catching position has been a bit of a bugaboo for the Mets this year with injury wise, specifically Francisco Alvarez. So, yeah. All right. Whew. So moving on from that, Mets sweep Phils, 4 games back now, 4.5 ahead of the Reds now for that final wild card spot. Breathe a little bit easier there. The Reds kind of faltering here as of late, and facing some tough competition. The Diamondbacks. I think right now they're facing the Dodgers? I think out west. So that's good. That's perfect. Stretch out that lead there for the Mets, and so now they move into a 4-game series here against the Marlins. And so all that good they did against the Phillies, if they go out there and they lay an egg against the Marlins, if they even split the series, I feel like you have to come out with at the very least, a series win against the Marlins, and to make yourself feel good. But if they go out there and they do anything less, if they do a split, or if they, for heaven forbid, they drop the series, 1 game, 3 loss, 1 win, 3 losses to Marlins, it would just have erased everything you did against the Phillies. Again, that's if the Phillies go out there and take care of business against the Braves, and I think that's who they play next. I think they're playing the Braves next in Philly. So yeah, they got to continue winning series, winning these games, especially against teams that they should be beating, like the Marlins. So we'll see what happens. So tonight against the Marlins, the Mets throw out Clay Holmes there against Adam Mazur. Then Friday, of course, Jonah Tong against Yuri Perez. That should be an interesting matchup. Yuri Perez, ERA there in the mid-3s. David Peterson versus Edwin Cabrera. Another guy, in the ERA around mid-3s. And then Kodai Senga versus Sandy Alcantara. Sandy Alcantara, super high ERA, and I think it's in the 5s or something like that. 5s or 6s, I think. But it's still Sandy Alcantara. Who knows what you're going to get there? And I think that start on I think that's Sunday or Thursday, Friday. So yeah, on Sunday for Senga. That start for Senga is going to be huge, I think, as to telling where he's going to be, where he's going to fall on this Mets roster going down the stretch. So it's going to be interesting if he goes out there and throws another, lays another egg where he's struggling through 3 or 4 innings. I have a hard time seeing him getting many starts after that because every game from here on out, every game is important from here on out. So hopefully the Mets offense continues their thrashings, their beatings of opponents pitching against the Phillies. It wasn't just 2 or 3 guys. One game, game one, bottom of the lineup was phenomenal. Game two, top of the lineup, phenomenal. Game three, sporadic. Some of the guys at the top, some of the guys at the bottom. I mean, awesome. And another point on this, on the offense here, against the Phillies, they hit 568 with runners in scoring position. There are 21 or 37. It's been a huge bugaboo for the Mets this year. Runners in scoring position, huge. But finally figuring it out against the Phillies. They're 24 of 30 versus Philly at home. Now that's including playoffs, and 10 in a row against the Philadelphia Phillies there at Citi Field. So some good stuff there. And also another thing I jotted down about the Mets offense: last 2 series against the Braves and against the Phillies, 5-1 in those 2 series. Against the Braves, they amassed 38 hits and 24 runs. Against the Phillies, 38 hits and 25 runs. So over those 2 series, 6 games, they've scored 49 runs and had 76 hits. Amazing. That offense finally starting to click. Just got to keep it rolling. So, all right, I'm gonna duck out of here. I'm ready for bed. Super nervous. Like I said, doing this again. But I really appreciate the guys that checked it out. As soon as I got it rolling, the nerves went away. But just starting it, I was sitting here, I'm like taking deep breaths, like, all right, I've done this a million times. Let's go. But everything went well. Real quick for me, if you want to help me out, check out W Energy Drink, www.w.gg. Discount code the Bat Cave. That'll get you 10% off your order. If you're not sure about it, it's a jitterless energy drink. Just try it out. They do have sample packs. We're just pony up the dough for a $40 tub. You get a ton of servings out of this tub, so it's well worth the $39, especially with the what energy drinks cost nowadays. So it's definitely worth it, and the taste is phenomenal. And again, no jitters. I've never had a problem since using W with the jitters, but it gives me that energy that I need to get through the night. And so yeah, so be sure to check them out. www.w.gg. That's still hard to say. Discount code the Bat Cave. All right. And be sure to check out our good friends at Cole County Entertainment. Give them a like and a follow on all social media platforms. And one last comment here before I get out of here. Our good friend, the Bone Mike, Yuki Matsui, amongst other names, Mr. Yamamoto. He says, thanks, Kenny. Thank you, the Bone Mike. I appreciate you coming back. And you know what, Yuki, I was thinking about you last night at work, to be honest with you, because I knew I was going to do this show today. I had a doctor's appointment earlier. I'm like, as soon as I get home from the doctor's appointment, I'm going to do this podcast. And I'm like, you know what? The last month or month and a half of shows I did, you weren't there. You weren't on for one reason or another. There's times I didn't do shows on a Wednesday, did them on a Thursday, just because it worked out better schedule wise for me. And I think the very last show that you checked out of mine, I was having audio issues and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I hear it was my old headset was messed up. And so hopefully the audio is better. I didn't know if I thought maybe I pissed you off or whatever, because my audio was bad. I'm like, man, that's a bummer, because you bring a lot of great questions, Yuki, the Bone Mike, I'm going to call you. That's you bring a lot of great questions and a lot of great points, and I appreciate you when you check in. Same thing there, Al Hedeman. We go way back to our middle school days. So I've known Al a long time, and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for checking out the show, and I appreciate it. I will be live again next week. I'm hoping for Wednesday, but don't hold me to it. And but yeah, I'm going to shoot for next Wednesday, 9 a.m. and we'll go from there. We'll try to get back to the hump days. All right. So be sure to check out all of our shows here on Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. We have a wide variety of stuff, so always check that out. We got another comment here. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. Yeah, R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. A lot of bummer deaths there in that small period of time. Like Ozzy. Jesus, Ozzy was a big one for me. Uh, Me being a metalhead and all that. Well, I guess call me a metalhead. I don't know. But I like metal. I like rock music. I've been to I was a bunch of Ozfest. I seen Ozzy with Black Sabbath. I seen just Ozzy perform, with his stuff. And every time I seen Ozzy again, it was the early 2000s. He was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And I'm very fortunate. I was fortunate enough to have seen Ozzy live. I think it was 4 times. 3 Ozfest and then 1 with Black Sabbath on just a regular tour with Godsmack opening up and Drain STH. It was a phenomenal show. We seen that one. They were in Hershey. We had pit tickets for that one. And thanks to my wife. She's the one that got me to the Ozfest and stuff like that. I didn't know Ozfest was a thing until we graduated high school, and she was already on her second tour of Ozfest. So. But yeah, Ozfest was I definitely miss Ozfest. Ozfest was so much fun, all day concert, different stages and different things to watch or gawk at. Phenomenal. I miss that all day festival type stuff. And there isn't many around where I live here in central Pennsylvania, east central Pennsylvania, somewhere, wherever you want to call me here. You don't get too many festivals. Usually those are like you see a lot in Ohio, North Carolina, California, and stuff like that, Oklahoma. But for some reason, you don't see many in Pennsylvania. So, all right. So that's all I have for today. Like I said, check out all the Out of the Box Sports stuff. I'm going to throw this up here real quick. Out of the Box Sports Entertainment, Cole County Entertainment Network. Be sure to check them out. Like, follow, share. And so, yeah, and I will be live. Again, the Silver and Black Lair Raiders edition. I'd like to go live. I want to do tomorrow, but I have another doctor's appointment tomorrow. Maybe I'll try tomorrow night if I don't work. We'll see what happens. I got to get on for the Raiders show. I got to talk about their 53-man roster and whatnot. So stay tuned for that one. This is the Silver and Black Lair returning, and I'm getting back into the swing of the podcasting thing here. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for checking the show out. I'm definitely going this time. I got to figure out how to end it. I don't remember how to end it now, and so I'm just going to keep rambling on until I figure it out. All right. So that's all I have. See you guys later. And until next time, let's go Mets.
Strong, let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. Alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought, a touchdown mind. Out of the box every time.